Waving at you politely on the crosswalk of life. We are Village Vice, and we are glad to be bringing you another episode like human beings do. He's Zach Blackerby. I'm Brad Law, and that's a fantastic shirt. You got one of those Call God shirts? Phenomenal.
Let's go.
You know, that's taunting, Zach. It's the Call God thing is taunting. Have you heard that? That's the latest spin.
But crane kicking is not.
Not taunting. Not taunting. Yeah.
Yeah. Doing something that, nods something, a nod to your religion.
Right.
Taunting.
That's taunting.
Crane kicking, fine.
Not taunting. Did you know, and this will send some people into orbit if they had not heard this yet.
Oh, no.
The reason that wasn't called taunting, and this is directly from the horse's mouth. This is straight from the mouth of one of the officials.
The Nelson crane kick?
Correct.
Okay.
It's because they didn't understand what that was. They didn't know what the crane kick was. So they didn't recognize it as taunting.
Got it.
So now the fact that he bumped a guy and then did it right in his face wasn't enough of a clue. But they didn't know what it was. So as long as your mannerisms are something that the officials wouldn't recognize as taunting, they don't know the origin.
Yeah.
You just get away with it. You just
let's make it a game. Like, hey, Chad Baker Mazzara,
hey,
Janai Broom, let's come up with something new. Come up with something new where the refs don't know what it is.
Hey, watch this, Zach. What? This is taunting.
Oop, you just got teed up.
That's taunting.
You just got teed up.
Smiling is taunting. Crane kick, not taunting.
Sometimes it just seems like it's like who it's from, not what they're actually doing.
Yeah, most of the time it seems. Yeah, that's exactly the way it seems.
They may say, "Oh, it's the intent." Like, I don't think so. No. I don't think it's about intent at this point.
Yeah.
So Brad Law wants to talk about football.
I do want to talk football. Okay, so we're coming up on spring practice, right? And my attitude about spring practice before I got a text earlier this week was just like, all right, let's see. It's the big reveal. Let's just go into it with no expectation other than the normal excitement, and let's just see. But then I got a text per a guy on the football team. The football team.
Oh.
Not, slap happy over there at the barbershop, but that made me sound like I'm 100 years old. I don't know.
What?
Per a guy on the football team.
Where do you get your hair cut at, Brad?
I got a lady cuts my hair.
Okay. Not the barbershop, though.
It's not the barbershop. No, it's kind of a high end. Like, I bet men are only about 10% of the clientele at this
That's
place.
where I go as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is it the same one?
It's in downtown Opelika.
Okay, no, mine's in
Shout out Krista.
All right.
Shout out to Krista.
Shout out Pam. There you go. Dr. P. There we go. Krista and Pam are the ones responsible for all of this.
There you go.
And what's under the hat. Okay. Per a guy, I think we've teased it enough. Per a guy on the team, we are leaps and bounds better in team-led practices and workouts than last year. I don't know what that means. I don't know what leaps and I don't know how you quantify that.
Yeah.
But here's the one that really got my attention.
Yes.
The QB and wide receiver room are much improved. And Singleton looks great. What does it mean if the QB and receiver rooms are much improved? When we talk about the quarterback, Zach, we kind of have this expectation, this hope, this like you did a show on it yesterday. If the quarterback room's not better, not much else matters.
That's true.
But what does it mean if the receiver room is much improved from a player's perspective? If a player is saying it, what does that mean exactly to you?
Well, I think one is obviously confidence in his teammates, which is important for sure. But like also it should be better. I mean, everything that they've invested in that quarterback room, projected starter is better, or at least more talented. Projected backup, better, more talented. Ashton Daniels isn't here yet. And they're like Deuce Knight, I mean, I've heard nothing but incredible things about Deuce Knight. So, like, it should be better, 100%. And then the wide receiver room, I mean, the meat of your receiver room were a bunch of freshmen last year, and KLS wasn't here yet at this, right? KLS was a post-spring edition. Correct me if I'm wrong there. I'm pretty sure.
I think
I don't,
I
I don't
think
know why.
right.
I don't know why I'm doubting that statement, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. And so, like, you look at it, it's like, okay, well, Eric Singleton, like I've been saying over and over again, like I don't think people realize how good he is.
Yeah.
But then like Cam, Perry, Malcolm, Bryce, like, they've been here an extra year. Like, yeah, they should be a lot better.
Yeah. I'm going to admit something to everybody right now. I don't think I fully appreciate how good Eric Singleton is.
I don't think you do. And I think you should apologize to him right now, please. Just go ahead.
Hey, Eric, if you're watching, I apologize. I haven't done anything to run you down. I haven't doubted. I just haven't fully maybe appreciated the scope of this addition to the wide receiver room. Let me give you Keandre Lambert-Smith's stats at Penn State the 2 years before he came to Auburn. Can I do that? Do I have the freedom to do that? KLS at Penn State, the 2 years before, 1,062 yards, 8 touchdowns. Okay? 1,062 yards, 8 touchdowns in the 2 seasons before he came to Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Singleton, 1,468 yards and 9 touchdowns. About 400
he committed in
yards
April of last year, so we were right.
Okay, good. Late April, like post-spring April. 103 catches. No, I'm sorry. The 2 years before he came to Auburn, 77 catches. Singleton, 104 catches.
Yeah, and I don't really care about the stats. I just like if they help make our case, that's great.
The stats tell a story though of productivity and use.
Yes, and an offense that was hit or miss, but I think Georgia Tech, I mean, they were exciting to watch at times last year. I liked their quarterback a lot last year too. And then, KLS coming from Penn State, like they just didn't really throw the football. And so the fact that he was somewhat productive there, I guess, and then transferred, like we had no idea. But just the eye test of what Eric Singleton was able to do against Georgia alone, it's like, yeah, he's fine. He belongs. He belongs and for a team that, hopefully can shoot up to the top 4th of the SEC. But let's all dream for a second. Yeah. He's capable of that, especially when you couple in the fact that like he's got Cam Coleman and Malcolm Simmons also there that's going to be drawing attention in coverage. Like there's a lot to be excited about with Eric Singleton for sure.
So what does that mean for the offense and projected productivity if both the quarterback and wide receiver rooms are much improved?
Yeah, so this is where I think the conversation about Auburn's offense and overall production gets a little nuanced. It's because they weren't inherently bad a year ago.
Right.
They just couldn't score and deliver in key plays, key downs, key situations.
Yeah.
Like there were several opportunities or several games where Auburn outgained their opponents, but they stink on 3rd down, or they would turn the football over, or they would miss field goals, which I know you love to say. I'm sorry I took that from you. Or, they would just kind of disappear in the red zone.
Yeah.
Or they throw a pick 6 when the game was already won. And so, like,
it's a very specific one.
Yeah. It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute to get over. Ironically, against, your now quarterback's former school, which is awesome. But I think, I just think it's tricky to have the conversation because, like, I don't think Peyton was great by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not defending Peyton Thorne here, but it wasn't as awful as people are acting like. Yeah. I don't think.
That's a reasonable thing to say, Zach. That's an objectively reasonable thing to say.
But
okay,
he was bad in key downs
in certain spots. Yes,
he was bad, and so can Jackson Arnold. We assume. Can Jackson Arnold be so much better in those situations than Peyton Thorne? That's the question. And like your receivers can be better. Your offensive line can be better. But if you don't have a quarterback that doesn't like to have pressure on him, I don't know. And I just don't know. I don't think we know enough about Jackson Arnold. I'm excited about his upside. I'm excited about his talent. Oh, he just threw a 12-yard touchdown pass to Cam Coleman. Go.
Arnold drops back. He looks. He fires left side, back of the end zone. Caught. Cam Coleman. Milkshake for Jackson.
Well done.
Okay. Yeah, I got into this discussion in a group text with a couple of friends of mine who they're knowledgeable. They've watched football a long time. They think Eric Singleton and Jackson Arnold's productivity could give Auburn not one, but two 1,000-yard receivers. And I said, and I quote, whoa. And a third time, whoa.
Let's get one 1,000-yard receiver first.
We haven't had one since Y2K.
Yeah.
Let's pump the brakes on two. And he laid out all his and here's what Horatio's getting, and here's what Malcolm's getting, and here's what everybody else is getting. And I said, you're talking about 4,000 yards of offense, and you haven't thrown to a tight end yet, and you haven't run the ball yet, and you haven't thrown to a running back. Guys, hold up. Let's maybe get to a sprint. Nobody has ever accused me of being a Debbie Downer or a doom and gloomer at all, ever. But I'm like, let's watch a spring practice. Let's watch the A-Day practice. Like, let's dip our toe into the water and then get our foot, then our ankle, then our knee, and let's see. I'm thrilled about how productive this group could be.
Yeah. I've got a question on that in a second. You want to tell the folks about our friends at MyBookie?
Yeah, MyBookie.ag. They are giving you right now, when you use the promo code BARN.
Yes.
Very easy. BARN. Right. It says it bottom right of your screen right now. Okay. Just use that, and you will get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. So if you put in 1,000, they'll give you 500 extra.
Promo code BARN.
BARN. BARN. Plus, you get a $10 casino chip on top of that.
BARN.
So there you go. What I would do, Zach, is I would go to mybookie.ag. I'd put in my 1,000, and then I would take the 500 that they give me and put it on like the easiest betting line out there.
Yeah.
And it's like earning interest at a bank, right? Yeah. Isn't that? And if you lose it by some great upset,
you're fine. You're not down anything.
The other way to go is to put it on this gigantic upset, and there you like put it on Providence to win the NCAA tournament or something like that.
Don't waste your bonus that way.
I wouldn't do that either. But
do that.
That's the other end of the spectrum. Anyway, mybookie.ag.
Yes. So let's assume I'm from the future. Okay. Spoiler: I'm from the future, and I tell you, Brad Law, 1, a year from now, you're still incredibly handsome. 2, more people are waving at people at the crosswalk.
It's a better world.
Specifically for your pleasure.
Yeah.
And 3, Auburn has 1,000-yard receiver this upcoming season. Who is it?
Cameron Jorel Coleman.
All right.
I will stand by that.
You didn't even think about it.
No,
you didn't even think about it. You didn't even give Eric Singleton. Here's you doubting Eric Singleton again.
No, it's not doubting Eric. I'm sorry.
You just apologized to him at the top of the show.
Yeah.
And you didn't even think about him. You didn't even think about Eric Singleton Jr.
Nope. No, because you asked the question if I could only have one.
Your apology was so it didn't feel sincere to me. I didn't want to call it out in real time, but now I understand. Like, it didn't feel sincere, and that's okay.
It was it was an asterisked apology, wasn't it? It was like, I'm sorry if I made you feel this way. It's one of those kind of apologies. This is not a real apology. No, and I'm gonna stand, like, you're not gonna get a different response from me throughout the course of the year than this when it comes to Cam Coleman. The way they used him the last 3-4 ball games is the way I think he'll be used all of this coming season. Yeah. And I think that translates to 7 or 8 catches a game and 100 yards or right around it a game. And
Maybe he
and
has
there you
one
go.
where he absolutely explodes,
Yep.
right? Where it's like, $180 or something to
Yep.
give him the pace. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
got
think
you.
we saw that. I think we saw the start of, like, when a TV show sets up a spinoff, like, you start to see what it's going to be at the end. And now we see a little more character development.
I'm starting to watch Breaking Bad. I'm on season 2 of Breaking Bad right now. I've never
Right.
seen it before. Tried it a few times. It's pretty good. And apparently the spinoff show is really good too.
I've never watched an episode. It's like out there, people call it the greatest TV show of all time, one of the best, and I've never watched it. Now,
It's not, I don't think it's as good as people talking about yet, but
okay.
we'll see. We'll see.
I
It's
watched,
not bad, but
but see,
greatest of all time. I don't know.
I watched Bryan Cranston in Your Honor, though. We may have talked about this on a show.
I think so. Yeah.
And it's like, in reading it, it's the same kind of premise. Guy with
Okay.
values gets put in a tough spot and then has to do bad things because he's been put in a tough spot. And it's this moral dilemma. So I wonder if I watch Breaking Bad now and I've already watched all of Your Honor, am I gonna get the same? Is it gonna have the same impact? I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
I don't know.
Keep us.
Survivor last night was insane.
You know what we've completely abandoned?
What?
We've completely abandoned the Raw recap. That lasted
a
hot minute and was gone.
Mondays are a tough night for me to watch stuff.
Yeah.
In the first few weeks, I like made it a priority, or we actually just watched it later.
Right.
And Monday's a tough night. Monday's a tough night for me to watch TV.
You called me on it before we recorded one day. I was telling you about the show because I had attempted to watch it after the kids went to bed. And you're like, I don't feel like you watched the whole thing. Yeah, I didn't watch the whole. I have to tell you now, I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I watched like the last hour.
Yeah.
Kind
of.
It's
usually the best hour.
Yeah. Usually you're right.
Depends.
You're right.
The first 30 minutes and last 30 minutes are like the best parts. But
got to tell you, don't really care about John Cena turning heel after 17 or 20 years or whatever it's been. That storyline doesn't interest me at all. He's been around for a long time. Kind of could see it coming. Not a big shock.
Okay.
Anyway, all right.
Got it.
There you go.
Is there anything else we want to talk about today?
I don't know. Do you want to get into the basketball? Do you want to get into basketball at all today, or just wait?
By the time this drops,
yeah,
Auburn will know who it's playing, either Arkansas or Ole Miss. So it's kind of tricky to talk about it because, like, we don't know who they're playing. Regardless of who it is, I think Auburn wins.
Yeah,
and I think they play Tennessee tomorrow, so that'll be fun. Or Tennessee Saturday, that'll be fun.
That's the tricky part of doing a show tomorrow too. Is when you have to put it out before the game, and then it's dated.
Yeah, so that's why we talked football today, and because as you can see, Brad Law wanted to talk about football.
So Zach is trying to teach me a lesson. Zach, you're an incredibly impactful teacher.
No, this is going to make me look like a jerk. You can't tell the story.
No,
you can't tell the story.
I can't tell the story. I'm telling you, it's effective. It's effective. Not parenting. You're not my parent, but it's effective teaching. It's effective teaching. So I don't like what Zach puts on the right-hand side of the screen. I don't think my name needs to be up there twice. Look at it. It's excessive. You all know it's excessive.
Yep, it's excessive on purpose.
But the reason he's doing it is so that I will learn. And it's very easy to learn, apparently, how to put these together.
To make the backgrounds that we use. Yes.
Yeah.
And you've had the link to do it since this show debuted. And you just refuse to do it. So the last few weeks, I've just started putting Brad Law in all of the backgrounds because I knew it would eventually drive you crazy.
So today, after, I don't know, 20 months or whatever of doing the show, I said, don't do that anymore. And then immediately said, I guess I could just learn to do it myself. Now I'll say, I didn't realize I've had the link since the beginning. I didn't know that. I thought I had to go in and sign up for something and download something and whatnot. So
got it.
For the rest of the day, I'm going to be trial and erroring this thing. And
it'll take you 3 minutes.
Take me 3 minutes. And then in the future, it's going to be Zach Blackerby is the GOAT. We all know how handsome Zach is. We know
that's right.
We got to balance it out. Fair and balanced. That's what this show is all about.
Yeah, we're totally objective when we talk about things. That's us. The most objective show on the internet.
We may not be objective, but we are fair and balanced, Zach. And here's why. And I say that unironically. Here's why.
Okay.
There's so much anti-Auburn stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be so pro-Auburn that it brings balance to everything that's out there.
You're such a champion for this side of the rivalry, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Fair and balanced, baby. All day, every day.
All right. I don't think we're getting anything else. So I think that does it for today's show.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching.
So
we're almost to 7,000 subscribers. So if you haven't hit that button, we're like 100 away. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, do that. You'll be notified anytime there's a new show. Barn Baseball Show tomorrow. Yes. Lindsey Crosby, maybe Sonny. We'll see. He's living the minor league life out in Arizona.
SEC opener this weekend.
Yeah.
Big one.
Big one. Big one.
Big one.
Maybe an adjusted schedule too. So check that out on this same channel. You get the notifications when you subscribe. Thanks for watching. Remember, until next time, everyone has vices. Make sure Village Vice is one of yours.